Welcome to another exciting and educative episode for Focus on Tourism. We are supported by Hansonic Hotel and CH Travel and Tours. To support this program, you can contact us on any of the social media handles or our telephone numbers below. Here with me today is Mr. Samuel Obeng Apa, content editor and a tourism writer. You are welcome once again, Mr. Samuel.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
We are going on a very short commercial break. When we come back, we will continue on a very exciting topic today with Mr. Apa. Stay tuned. Would like to say a big thank you to our sponsors, CH Travel and Tour. With CH Travel and Tour, they offer services like flight ticketing, hotel booking, visa assistance, car rentals, study abroad. You can contact them on 024 306 8558, 024 306 8558. Or you can contact them on their landline 030-231-8932, 030-231-8932. Also would like to say thank you to Hansonic Hotel. Hansonic Hotel has the best accommodation, affordable and easy place to be. Anytime you are in Dansoman looking for accommodation, Hansonic Hotel is the best place to be. They have nice restaurants that offer varieties of dishes. You can contact them on 030-230-0849, 030-230-0849. Welcome back. We are still with Mr. Samuel Obeng Apa, and today we are going to discuss on the topic the impact of Kwahu Easter on Ghana's tourism. Welcome once again, Mr. Apa.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Apa. So we all know that when it comes to Kwahu Easter is not a cultural festival. Yes, but it's a sort of a Christian festival. But the people of Kwahu has dubbed it in a way that makes it look like it's a cultural festival. And this is where people from overseas, from Ghana, people that are not in the Kwahu at the moment come together as one to celebrate it as a cultural festival.
I'm not too sure if it's actually evolved to a cultural festival. I think it still remains largely a Christian festival anyway. I mean, if you say Easter, except that, if you like, the Kwahu people have annexed it, into some sort of celebration. If you look at Kwahu as an ethnic group or a people, they don't really have any festival. So Easter is their own way of celebrating something exactly that looks like a festival, right? With respect to the history, you would have to first understand the kind of people the Kwahu people are, right? Kwahu people are largely traders, they are business people, they are merchants. So here in the capital city in Accra, when you look at all the trading spot, go to Okanshi, go to Kantamanto, go to even Makola, go to Abosokai, you are guaranteed that at least 90% of all the people doing business there come from Kwahu. They are the shop owners. They are the market women on the street. They are the people selling clothing. They are the ones operating all these pharmaceutical companies. Go to Okanshi Dragling, it's mainly Kwahu people. The same way, you go to Abosokai, the spare parts dealers, most of them are Kwahu people. Go to Kantaman, to the second-hand clothing dealers, they are Kwahu people. So Kwahu people are business people. There is a joke that no matter how much a Kwahu person gets educated, be sure they'll still want to run a shop selling at least paint or something. It's a joke. So you go to Arena, all those paint shop, all those building equipment shop, Kwahu people, they are business people. So what happens is that because they spend most of their time in the city here in Accra doing business, they hardly go back. Call it, if you like, rural urban migration, but for them it is more of an economic migration than just moving from Kwahu to be here. For them it's to do business. And so what they do is that when they get the money, they just go back to Kwahu and build. They build. Unfortunately, they build nice houses and they don't live there. The only time you find them go back is when there is a funeral, when there is the need, marriage ceremony, they go back and stuff like that. So with time, what the tradition became was that during the Easter period, that's the only time they take a break from their busy schedules, and they just go back. When they go back, they meet family and friends, try to fraternize, try to have a good time. And it got to a point where now it wasn't just about them going back, but now they invite their friends and families. Yeah. Oh, usually now we call it what, housewarming or whatever. Yeah.
Have they sort of made the Easter celebration their sort of festival? Because you were mentioning earlier that they do not have.
They've annexed Easter, and that's why you are saying it's a cultural festival for them. But that was the spirit. The spirit is that this is the only period we get to go back to our hometowns to enjoy the houses that we've built, right? And when they go, there is a sit down. You see families get together, they share food, they share drinks, they play music, they dance, they make merry. That's just around the time. And prior to that, they might go for funerals. You know, Kwahu people are also very big on funerals anyway. So they do all of these things. Then it gets to a point where you have all these big names. And, you know, Kwahu have got some really big names. Talk of the Ernest chemists, the Sekins, all those people. So they are going back to open their houses. Then they tell their friends, you know, come along. I want you to see my house. So when you go there, it's like a continuation of the tradition they themselves had began, you know. So there is merrymaking, so that now if Seconds is bringing his friend, a business partner to, you know, the celebration will be bigger, you know, the excitement will be much bigger. So it's been a tradition that's been with the Kwahu people for a very long time, until 2005, when Ghana as a country realized that instead of just allowing these Kwahu people to do this thing, we could actually capitalize on it and make it like a real celebration, like a festival. In fact, a tourism product. So that's where it begins from.
But are there any specific traditions or rituals associated to this particular festival?
No. It's always been about going back to see family. You know, it's about reconnecting with family. It's about going back. So that's the time, like I said, that's the only time they take a break from their busy schedule. So when you go back, if there are family issues that need to be thrashed out, that's where you get to talk. So for instance, people who lived in Kwahu and they know that, oh, my uncle works in the city, must have not even seen this uncle before. This is the only time you get to see the uncle. So when you come, it is all merrymaking. It's a jolly-filled moment, right? So there's not like any tradition. The only tradition is that you just sit around, you get to know people, you get to know, Nana Baninyo, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's no tradition. It's not like you come and no. And that's why in that sense, it is not your normal festival as we know. You know, it's not like Homowo, it's not like Akwesidayo. No. It's just they taking advantage of the Easter break to just go back to their hometown and make merry and connect with family.
But is there any significance of this particular festival on the country's culture?
The thing about the use of culture is this, that culture, I mean, in its simplest definition, is the way of life of a people. Now, if this merrymaking, getting together, is become a way of life of the people of Kwahu, then yes, there is a lot of significance. You know, because I indicated in my earlier submission that this is the time families get together, right? And when family gets together, there are a lot of things that take place. There are lots of issues that are resolved. In fact, just like they give it the same attention as there is going to be a funeral or there is going to be a marriage ceremony. So houses that must have been left unattended to now are given facelift. Communities are swept. You know, prepare for the people who are coming. Do you get it? And so this in itself is very important. You know, it's just about building community. It's about cohesion. It's about consensus building, because at this time also you realize that a lot of the traditional authorities take advantage of the people coming in to, you know, discuss pertinent issues that affect the communities. Okay, you've been away, your building is here. Okay, we want to build a community library. Now that you are in, we want your support. Let's think about how we can raise funds to do this, that for the community. So
talking on this one especially, are you saying that there's a sort of cultural engagement when it comes to Kwahu Easter?
If it's become the way of life of people, right, then obviously you can't eliminate the cultural aspect. Except that, Ghana, when you say culture, we think of it in the tradition sense, all right? But in Kwahu, it's not like that at all. It's not like that. Now, Kwahu is transformed into a very cosmopolitan environment during this period because, it opens the doors to all manner of people. So it's not like you come and you have to observe what Kwahus do. No, you can come from America, whatever, just come, have fun, and that's it. Do you get it? So there is not so much exertion when it comes to the cultural aspect, but you know that it exists. Someone coming from, say, outside of the country will come and see a different people. They'll come and see a different way of life than what he or she might be used to. So in that regard, there is a bit of the cultural element, but it's not as we know, culture to be.
Talking of engagement, is there any sort of community engagement when it comes to this particular festival?
I mean, there are a lot of things. It started from just people hanging around, eating, drinking, to now they coming together to say that, we are back. What can we do to help the community? Our buildings are here, our family members are here, so what else can we do? So, there is a bit of, the Georgia, with the authorities and the leaders of the community, think of whatever solutions there are to existing problems. In that regard, there is serious community engagement. The fact that you are going back to your family, you haven't seen, say, the entire year, 2 years, 3 years, it's quite engaging in that respect.
But is this particular festival easily accessible? I know that obviously a lot of people tend to go for the Kwahu Easter, but is it easily accessible? Is it intrusive? Do we add the people with special needs? Do we factor them in when it comes to Kwahu Easter?
I think it is instructive for us to be clear about one thing. To me, there is nothing like Kwahu Festival. There is nothing like Kwahu Easter Festival. Because, again, prior to the country itself recognizing that, we could take advantage of the fact that people are coming back home, the Kwahu people never thought of it as a festival. It was just them going back to their family and friends. So if you want to bring in the festival aspect, then you want to talk about the time when, paragliding came in, then maybe we can have a conversation. But that thing about people just coming back to, open their homes, having interaction with their own family and friends, I don't think there is any festival thing about it. I don't think so. I mean, personally. Okay. Yeah. We only heard of festival, again, when we wanted to make a tourism product out of it, out of this engagement, out of people coming back home. And so maybe we can have a conversation around that instead, if you want to talk about festival.
We will surely talk about this, but we are going on a very short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk more on the Kwahu Easter. Stay tuned. Would like to say a big thank you to our sponsors, CH Travel and Tour. With CH Travel and Tour, they offer services like flight ticketing, hotel booking, visa assistance, car rentals, study abroad. You can contact them on 024 306 8558, 024 306 8558, or you can contact them on their landline 030 231 8932, 030 231 8932. Also would like to say thank you to Hansonic Hotel. Hansonic Hotel has the best accommodation, affordable and easy place to be. Anytime you are in Dansoman looking for accommodation, Hansonic Hotel is the best place to be. They have nice restaurants that offer varieties of dishes. You can contact them on 030 230 0849. 030-230-0849. Welcome back. So we are still with Mr. Samuel Appa. And Mr. Samuel Appa, before we went for the commercial break, I was on the topic on accessibility. I just want to know, when it comes to this Kwahu festival, you said earlier that you don't see this as a cultural festival, but unfortunately that's how we all perceive it to be. But have this particular festival been made accessible to everyone? Because if I'm coming with a family and there's a disabled one in the family, how is he going to be included in this particular festival?
Well, I think, I mean, in all sincerity, I think it's accessible. I don't think there is anything about Kwahu Festival that sort of bars anyone from taking part, right, as a disabled person, whether I don't know the kind of disability we are talking about here, but no matter what you are, the fact that Kwahu is just there for you to come to in itself is accessible. But I understand where you are coming from. So we are talking about being able to access, for instance, the accommodation facilities, the activities and stuff like that. That's mainly very dependent on what, for instance, the hotel has got on offer. And here in Ghana, generally, I don't think we have disability-friendly facility. There are hotels you go, it's like 3-story, and there is no even elevator. So it means that if you use the wheelchair, it will be very difficult to get to the top if your room is at the top. So generally, those are the downside. But really, even if you are blind or you are deaf or one of your leg is cut off or something and you want to go to Kwahu, I don't see anything that becomes an impediment for you to do so. Obviously, being handicapped, when you go there, there are a lot of things you can take part in, all right? Maybe some rooms you cannot access, some activities you can't find yourself doing. But it's a general thing, not necessarily a Kwahu thing anyway.
But is this being looked at? Because you made mention earlier about the history of the Kwahu Easter, that people come from far and near, all the people from Kwahu to come together as one and to celebrate this festival. So if I'm coming from the diaspora and I have a disabled person, how can I enjoy this festival? Like, how can I even enjoy the family meetings that we are going to have? So is there any plans being made to actually change this?
This is a question I will find difficult answering, because then again, like I told you, the idea of Kwahu, what has become known as Kwahu Easter Festival, was not even for outsiders. It was just family members going back to their family members. So whatever provisions they had, to take care of, say, family members who were disabled, that's up to them. Do you get it? It's when it became something beyond that now. That's why this conversation has become important in the first place. So that's on an individual, like a case-by-case basis. An issue that should be very nationalistic in nature. How do we include people who are disabled in a larger scheme of things? So I think, again, like I said, I don't think it's an issue of Kwahu thing, because if you say Kwahu and they fix that accessibility issue, what happens to Homowo? What happens to Ujira? What happens to Manyam Festival? So it's a matter of the country actually looking at it as a critical issue and making sure that those who offer services, all right, are mindful of people who are disabled, right? Like I said, I don't think it's a matter of Kwahu people trying to make, because if you think about it, you go like, what can they really do? The onus lies on the accommodation provider, the hotels, to make sure that, okay, if you need to have braille for those who cannot see but they want to read your menu or something, if you need to have some audio or something for those who can hear but they cannot see, you need to have way for people who are in wheelchair to get into the facility. Where they need to be in elevators, there is elevator, those things. But I don't think Kwahu, as a traditional authority, can just sit down and say, okay, what do we do to make sure that, okay, anybody, no matter whether the person is disabled or able, will be able to have fun, Because the reason why I keep saying it's not a festival, when we talk about festivals here in Ghana, we know what it entails. There is procession of, the chiefs and people. There is large derba, where you get to see authentic Ghanaian culture being displayed and stuff like that. You don't see that in Kwahu, because that's not what it's set out to be. After it became a festival, that's now these days they might have a derba. So we're having a community fundraising ceremony, and so they'll gather around have a debit and stuff like that. And so it makes it very difficult to want to bring in the issue of accessibility anyway. Like I said, it is up to those who are providing what service, whatever service there is, whether paragliding, how do you make it easy for somebody who hasn't got legs to fly?
Exactly, because the reason why I brought in the accessibility is because we all know Kwahu Easter was not a festival to begin with, but immediately it was initiated and the paragliding started adding up and all, it brought a lot of tourists. So if tourists are coming in to experience the Kwahu Easter because of the various activities that are included, and it's not made accessible to everyone, how does that even help the Ghanaian tourism?
I still don't want to believe that it's not made accessible to anyone. If you can get into a vehicle and drive up the mountain, that is your first instance of accessibility to me. Then when you go, you would now decide, okay, I'm handicapped in this way, which activity can I take part? No matter who you are, whether you are deaf, blind, you don't have legs or whatever. For instance, if you've got a place on the streets of Kwahu where there are tables and chairs and stuff like that, I don't think it would be difficult for you to just sit on a chair and order for a drink. Do you get a point? It is only when if you are trying to check into a hotel and getting to the hotel in the first place becomes an issue because they've made justice and not like a provision for wheelchair or something. Yeah, then we are talking about accessibility. But as far as the celebrations, the festivities are concerned, I think it's pretty much accessible. But for me, I think the conversation should be, we should look at the larger conversation of inclusive tourism. Then we can talk more. But if you narrow it to Kwahu, I don't think the Kwahu people think of it that way. How do we make blind people enjoy this? You know, how do we make deaf and dumb people, you know, how do we make someone who has got just a stump for an arm, you know, I don't think they think of it that way anyway. And that these things can only come when you're having a larger discussion or discourse on inclusive tourism. Then you can begin to look at some of these things.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Obeng Apa, for joining us today for Focus on Tourism. Thank you for your insight and education on this particular topic. Thank you. Would like to say a very big thank you to our supporters, CH Travel and Tours. CH Travel and Tours offers services like flight ticketing, hotel booking, study abroad, car rental, visa application. You can contact them on 024 306 8558 024 306 8558 and 030 231 8932 030 231 8932. CH Travel and Tour has got you sorted with anything tourism, anything travel. Also, would like to say thank you to Hansonic Hotel. Hansonic Hotel is located in Dansoman, around Dansoman Junction. Anytime you are in Dansoman looking for affordable accommodation, Hansonic Hotel is the best place to be. They have a nice restaurant with varieties of food that you can think of. Thank you to you for staying with us for Focus on Tourism. Thank you to CH Media and the production team. You can subscribe on our social media handles, CH Tourism TV. Stay tuned for more exciting and educative episodes on tourism.